Hello again, fourth graders. I am back to go over lesson 3 with you in our Into Math Module 1 work. And we've been talking about place value. We've been talking about writing numbers in different ways. We can write them in standard form. We can write them in word form. We can write them in expanded form. We can also do unit form. We know that as we go up our place value, we can go 10 times greater than. So now we're going to use a lot of that work to help us regroup and rename our numbers. Okay, using a lot of place value work and a lot of the stuff that we've done in these first 2 lessons is going to help us be able to do this next work. So when we're done, you're going to be able to regroup and rename multi-digit whole numbers. So there are about 18,500 known species of butterflies in the world. So in this box, we are going to show how we can regroup and rename the number 18,500 in 5 different ways. So one way we could regroup this number is we just learned in our last lesson. Couldn't we write it in one of the forms that we learned in our last lesson? Couldn't we write it in word form? Couldn't we just say, what is this number, written in word form? So we could write 18,000, comma, 500. That's one way we could write this number. Another way we could write this number is how we did it last time as well, in expanded form. So I know I have a 1 in the 10,000s place plus an 8 in my thousands place plus a 5 in my hundreds place. Another way that I could regroup and rename this number is using my unit form. Now it's very similar to expanded form, but it's telling how much I have in each unit. So I have 1 10,000. I have 8 thousands. And I have 5 hundreds. So here is one way that we were able to show. This is a second way, and this is a third way. A fourth way that we could show the number 18,500 is through base 10 blocks. Now, I don't have a 10,000 base 10 block, but there is something I do know about my base 10 blocks. If I have 1 10,000, that means I have how many thousands that make up 1 10,000? Aren't there 10 1,000s in 1 10,000? So couldn't I draw, now I know this is a lot, but couldn't I draw 10 1,000 blocks? Now that's going to equal my 10,000, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000. And then I need 8 more 1,000 blocks. and that's going to be my 8,000. And then I need 500 flats. And that equals my 500. So that's another way that I could describe or show the number 18,500. And I need to show it in one other way. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. I'm looking at the number 18,500. In this number, I have 185. See, right here, remember I said I've got 18,000s and 500s, right? 18 1,000s and 5 100s. Couldn't I do 185 hundreds? Now, I'm not going to draw 185 hundreds, right? But down here I showed, oops, I forgot a zero. Sorry about that. Down here I showed 18 thousands and 500s. Isn't that what this is? 18, if I count all of these, I have 18 thousands and 500s. I could also regroup to be 185 hundredths. So there are 5 different ways that I could regroup and rewrite 18,500. That's a lot of different ways. Now there are more, but we're just going to stick with 5. So let's move on to page 16. So we're going to build some understanding now. The North American Butterfly Association runs about 450 butterfly counts. Each year, volunteers count all of the butterflies observed within a 15-mile count circle in a one-day period. For this year's count, Dr. Fiona ordered 1,700 pencils. Show 1,700 using a large cube and flats. Then draw a quick picture to show your work. Well, 1,000, we know, looks like this, right? It's 1 cube. So this is our 1,000. And then I need, the flats are the hundreds. So I need how many flats? I need 7 flats. And this equals my 700. So if I were to give this another name, what is another name for 1,700 using thousands and hundreds? I know that I have 1,000, right? I have 1,000 cube, and I have 7 of the flats, or the 7 of the hundreds. So if I regroup the thousands as cubes, and if you regroup the 1,000 cube as flats, how many flats would you need? Sorry about that. I was reading that wrong. So if I have one of these, right, and I want to make it into flats, well, how many hundreds do I need to make one of those 1,000 cubes? I need 10, right? I need 10 hundreds to equal 1,000, because remember, it's 10 times as many as, or 10 times more. So I would need 10 flats to equal 1 cube. So if I need 10 flats for 1 cube, how many flats would I need for 1,700 as hundreds? I would need 17 flats. Because I need 10 flats for 1,000, and I have 1,700, so I'm going to need 17 flats for the whole number. So I know that 17 flats is the same as 17 hundreds. And one thing I want you to notice about this number, 1,700, 17, and look at the 2 zeros. Aren't there 2 zeros in 100? So 17 hundredths. There are 17 hundredths in 1,700. Pretty cool. All right, we're back with Dr. Fiona again on page 17. Dr. Fiona also needs 1,000 recording sheets for the butterfly count. How can you use a place value chart to regroup and rename 100,000? So letter A wants us to first write 100,000 in the place value chart. Well, that's fairly self-explanatory. I know I have a 1 in the 100,000s place, and I have zeros in all the other place values. So I have 100,000. How many 10,000s do I have if I have 100,000? I have 10 10,000s. How many thousands do I have if I have 100,000? I have 100 thousands. How many hundreds do I have? I have 1,000 hundreds. How many tens do I have? I have 10,000 tens. And how many ones would I have? 100,000 ones. So what are we noticing about the value of each position as we move left on the place value chart? Remember, as we go left, we get multiplied by 10, right? 10 times as many as. I'm adding a 0 every time I go up, every time I get bigger, right? So I'm going up a place value. I'm getting bigger by 1 place value. My number is becoming bigger. So we're going to use the place value chart to help us regroup and rename the number. So if I have 23 10,000s, so let's put 23 10,000s. How many hundreds do I have? How many hundreds do I have? If I have 23 10,000s. Now I don't have 23,000. I have 23 10,000s. So how many hundreds do I have? I have 2,300 hundreds. So I have to go to where my hundreds is in the place value chart. That's how many hundreds I have. If I have 23 10,000s, how many thousands do I have? To go to where my thousands are. I have 230 thousands. And if I have 23 10,000s, I have how many tens? I have 23,000 tens. So you're going to be looking at the place value, right? I have 23 10,000s, which is the same as 230,000. And I need to go, if I'm going to the hundreds, I need to see my hundreds. What number does that make? 2,300. If I'm going to my thousands place, I'm going to cover up the others. What number does that make? 230 thousands. And if I have the tens, I'm going to cover up just my ones. I have 23,000 tens. So that's regrouping our number using the place value chart. Now, just like last time, when you get to this part or this section, it's on your own. So you can stop, put a pause on this video, do this, and then start the video again in this spot and see and check your answers. Or if you're still a little unsure of yourself, go ahead and stay with me and follow along. Jenna used base 10 blocks to show that 2,400 people went to a swim meet. How can you regroup and rename 2,400? So if we have 2,400, how many hundreds would we have? Notice we have 2,400. How many hundreds did you say was in 1,000? Remember, we talked about this earlier? There are 10 hundreds in 1,000. Now I have 2 of these thousands. So that means I have another 10 hundreds. Plus I have these hundreds. So I have 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 24 hundreds. Right? I have 10 hundreds in 1,000. I have 10 hundreds in this 1,000. So 10 hundreds and 10 hundreds is 2 hundreds. Or 20 hundreds, sorry. And then I have 4 hundreds over here, so I have to add all those up. So 24 hundreds. And remember what I said. 24 and your 2 zeros, hundreds. Number 5. Adrian split up Jenna's base 10 blocks to show half the number of people that went to the swim meet. How could you regroup and name half of 2,400? Well, if I have 2,400, what would half be? Well, I know I have 2,000 cubes, right? What would half of that be? Just 1, right? And I know I have 400 flats. What would half of 4 be? 2. So what do I have? I have 1,200. Right? I had 2 thousands. I could take half of that. I have 1. I had 4 hundreds. Half of that is 2. So half of 2,400 is 1,200. Number 6. Regroup and rename the number 520,000. Remember how we say that? 520,000. Use the place value chart to help. Well, let's put this number on our place value chart. I have 520,000. And I want to rename this. If I have 520,000, I have 520 what? Where is this place value? 520 thousands. Remember, this 1 is 1,000s, 10 is 10,000s, 100,000s. This trips people up a little bit, but this just stands for thousands. Regroup and rename the number. So if we have 490, how many tens do I have? Well, I have 1 0, that's my tens, right? So I would have 49 tens. I have 560,000. I have 56. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros stands for 56. What number would have 4 zeros? 10,000s. And finally, students at a school collected 11,000 cans of food for the community food pantry. They can pack the cans in boxes of 100 to take them to the pantry. How many boxes will they need to pack all of the cans? So they have 11,000 cans that can be packed in boxes of 100. So we're going to stick these in boxes of 100. So basically we're wondering how many hundreds are in 11,000. Well, how many zeros are in 100? 2. So I'm going to take 2 of the zeros off. So how many boxes are we going to need? 110. There are 110 hundreds in 11,000. So what I would like from you is the black and white sheet after this lesson, after lesson 3, is titled lesson 1.3. So you're going to do the front and the back of lesson 1.3, and you're going to do the same thing as you did with 1.2. You're going to either scan it, take pictures of it, or hand it in to me at school. So that way I can check it over. And then next week we'll do the next 2 lessons. Maybe 3. I don't know. I'm trying to keep you up with how the class here at school is. And we are going to be working on lesson 3 this week and maybe lesson 4. So we'll see how that goes. I probably will do 3 lessons next week. But we're not there yet, so we're just going to stick with 2 this week. All right, guys. I hope you have a great day or a great rest of your week, and I will see you soon. Bye.